In today's vastly growing world, it is so easy to lose sight of the importance of the historical structures and landmarks that are the very foundation that the world we know was built on. These buildings and landmarks often hold value in many different aspects. There are people who have memories invested in these structures, and many hold great historic significance as well. Some of these structures could be saved, preserved, and revived into potentially thriving local businesses or museums. For example, take a look at this photo of the beautiful Hotel Montesano. Contained with breathtaking Queen architecture, this once peaceful health haven and retreat was demolished in 1944. There is no telling what great possibilities could have been in store for this impressive structure had it been better maintained. Now, all that stands is a chimney.
Preservation of these historic sites is important to our community as well as our heritage. Once a historic site has been destroyed, it may as well have never been there, as its memory and historic significance will fade over the years to come.
Through efforts made over the years by the Historic Huntsville Foundation and other like organizations, many historic sites have been saved from destruction and preserved or renovated, and now are individual homes or are thriving local businesses and tourist sites. Huntsville is a city rich in culture and in many ways tied to the significance to our county's milestones over the years. These sites and structures are an important part of retaining our history and authenticity. As humans, we tend to neglect or forget the values and struggles our community was developed upon. Most of us have heard the phrase, "they don't make them like they used to." Well, this holds true for many things, including ancient or antique buildings and structures. In times past, things were made by hand. Things that people of today's times look at thinking, there's no way someone could do all of this by hand with little to no technology. The craftsmanship of materials used to erect and create these sites is typically impressive, to say the least. Such intricate design and execution went into the creation of these buildings, and to let things like this just fade away is a shame. In many cases, it has been noted that many of the building materials used to construct these structures were a lot more durable than the mass-produced building materials available in today's market. Even things as simple as common boards like 2x4s were more durable years ago. The measurement of a common 2x4 in the 1960s was actually 2 inches by 4 inches. Today, while they are called and sold as 2x4, they are scaled down to 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. The same principles behind this example is shared with many building materials. There are many other economic benefits to restoring or preserving these buildings and homes as well. Renovation can be less expensive than new construction in many cases, being that the structure is already built. While this may not be the case in all situations, especially when the building is in very poor condition, it does hold true for some that were durably assembled. Also, these sites can potentially boost local economy with culture and revenue, while promoting community engagement and networking through public events, opening days, and other gatherings. The Historic Huntsville Foundation's main focus is to preserve the historic architectural resources left in Huntsville and Madison County. They are a non-profit organization that works diligently to promote preservation of historic sites, buildings, and neighborhoods through grants, events, education, and acquisitions.
Downtown Huntsville, Alabama, in front of Harrison Brothers Hardware, located in one of the 4 historic districts of Huntsville. This is one of the many investments in historic preservation efforts of the Huntsville Historic Foundation. In 1984, the Huntsville Historic Foundation purchased the old Harrison Brothers building as part of their downtown revitalization effort.
Historic Huntsville Foundation works with state and other officials to keep the National Register of Historic Places up to date. This also helps property owners with awareness of potential tax credit programs or property tax deductions on historic sites. The foundation often hosts educational programs for the public enlightenment of these historic sites and the importance of preservation. The organization also hosts multiple family-friendly public events in the downtown Huntsville area, some of which include Customer Appreciation Day at the Harrison Brothers Hardware Store and Movies in the Park held in the historic Big Spring Park. This nonprofit was started by a group of concerned community volunteers after the loss of many historic homes and buildings in the 1960s. These volunteers all shared the ambition and desire to save, restore, and renovate historic structures. To this day, the Historic Huntsville Foundation is the only nonprofit organization with the mission of preserving historic Huntsville and Madison County.
It's sites like these that the Huntsville Historic Foundation strives to prevent in their effort to preserve historic Huntsville.
Preserving our community's historic value and definition is a cause that needs to be shared through generations. Potentially restorative buildings and landmarks are an extensive evidential base that offers a storehouse of information on change in human behavior and understanding. Thus, advocates such as myself are needed to defend these frail but symbolic treasures from being destroyed forever. The Historic Huntsville Foundation and I are spreading awareness and hope to enlighten the public and increase genuine contribution to protecting our preceding civilizations. History is inescapable. The past causes the present, allowing us to anticipate what is yet to come.